probably put a lot of money into the items filling your closet, but did you know those same items could make you money? Well, newsflash, they can. And we have fashion expert Julianne Costigan to explain how it's done. Julianne, nice to see you. I am so intrigued by the idea of monetizing our wardrobes.
Hi, Tracy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. I love this topic. So, in January, I tend to organize my closet and purge. But then, what do you do with that purge pile? I think most of us think to donate or swap with a friend, but you can also sell those pieces. So, today we're going to talk about how to monetize your closet. And a few of my favorite platforms to do this in are Poshmark, Kijiji, eBay, and even Instagram stories. But the question that always comes up is why go through all the effort to sell your items? Number one, you can make money. Last month alone, I actually made over $1,500 on pieces I
Ooh.
haven't worn in months or maybe years. Yes. Number two, um, it feels great to just clean out your closet and see what you do have and wear more of what you love. And number three, knowing that your unwanted and unworn pieces are in the hands of people who truly appreciate them feels incredible.
Like, you just piqued my interest when you said over $1,500. I'm like, I was already invested. Now I'm like, okay, let's go. Knowing that these pieces are going to a new home is a great thing, but I think also just getting rid of stuff you don't need and the clutter is huge. So you're going to walk us through, Julianne, your guide for selling the clothes that we no longer love. And I love that you do this. So these are all tips that you use when listing your own items, right?
Exactly. So the first step is choosing the items out of your purge pile. So I like to consider brand names, designer brands, anything that still might have the tags on it. And you also want to think about seasonality. So there's a reason that stores sell fall and winter merchandise in the fall and winter. So think of this as if it's your own little boutique, you're curating your shop, and you want to sell pieces that people are searching for right now. The next step is prepping those garments. So it's really important to make sure that if there's a stain on anything, you do your best to launder it and get that out. If something's missing a button, maybe just take a few minutes to sew one back on or have it fixed. And so I think it's just really important to also make sure that everything is steamed and pressed because when you go to photograph it, you want it to look its best. And when someone receives it, you want them to feel like it's fresh and new for them.
Okay, these are all great tips, and I'm interested in the photography because this part is really important to get people interested in the clothing that you have that you're selling. So I'm wondering if you're doing the photography, is it better to have a body in the clothing or not to have a body in the clothing? Walk us through all the steps.
Okay, that is a great question. And for me, photography is the most daunting because I'm not good at it. And so I've put together a few very easy steps that you can do it yourself. So you want to find a white wall like I have behind me. Grab a command hook that'll stick to the wall and it won't damage your paint. I like to put the clothes on a clear white hanger just so that they don't distract from the clothes. And then you want to make sure that there's natural light or any source of light really that's going onto the clothes. And the goal here is to photograph the clothes and make them look like they actually do in person so that when the buyer receives it, they're not shocked in any way. So I like to do this flat lay off body. Then the other thing that's really important is going onto the website where you might have initially purchased it and trying to find a professional image. This just helps to, I think, let the buyer understand really what they're buying when it was fresh and new. And also, if in your hunt you happen to find a celebrity wearing something or the item you're selling, include that too because people are very influenced by what celebrities wear. And then the final part of photography, which is the one I love, and I think you would too, Tracy, is inviting a girlfriend over and maybe bringing a bottle of wine and putting the garment on and styling it in the way that you would actually wear it. Think of this like a mini ad campaign. Have fun with it. Get creative. And just really try and create a photograph that makes the buyer want to have that.
And should it ever be you in those photo shoots? Like, do you ever take pictures of yourself, or is that like a bad security thing to do?
Yes, I think a lot of these sites, depending on what you use, are pretty safe and you can limit your interactions with the buyer. So I do include photos of myself because it also shows people, what it looks like on your body. And if they have a similar body, they might feel better knowing that what they're purchasing is going to look similar on them.
Okay, all right, really, really good point. Okay, we've photographed everything. What should we do next?
The description. So I like to go back to the website where I pulled the professional image off and just copy and paste that description right into your listing. Now, if you can't find a description, you just want to include details like color, fabric content, the way something fits, and if there's any imperfections about the garment, include that here as well. Actually, last month I sold a blazer that had a watermark stain on it. I photographed it, I included that in the description, and the buyer bought it and was super happy because they knew what they were going to receive. So it's really all just about transparency here. And then the next part is pricing it. So I like to type in the brand and the item I'm selling right into the platform that I'm selling it on and look at what the average price for a similar item is. Then you want to take into account, if yours is new with tags, maybe bump the price up. If it's been worn heavily, bump the price down. Always make sure to include the price of shipping in your price that you list it for and be prepared to negotiate the price because online that happens almost every time.
Oh, you're doing negotiating, huh? There's some haggling, some back and forth?
Mhm. Yes,
Hmm.
yes, I've developed that skill over time.
That's a tough one for me. Okay, I'll just be like, okay, fine, $5, take it. Talk to me about the percentage that the distributor might be taking, because some of these distributors, like a Poshmark, or I don't know if Instagram takes a percentage, but they might take a cut. Am I right?
Yeah, so it really just depends on the platform. Sometimes they take a cut. Something like Poshmark takes a cut, but they send you a shipping label, which I find really easy. Instagram stories, you're actually just selling maybe to your own community. So you could be selling to a friend, but it just makes it easier than having to put out an email with a picture and answer questions. So it just depends on where you're selling it. But in my opinion, the fees are worth it because you make money off things you might have donated.
Really good, Julianne. Great ideas. Very invested. I might even try it. Find all of her advice on our website.